Without a doubt, the engine that drives two of the world's largest economies, Europe and the United States, is the road transport industry. Although it's essentially the same job, there's a distinct difference in how heavy transport is conducted between these two regions. However, these differences go beyond mere aesthetics or preferences among truckers. Stay with us and discover, why are American and European trucks so different? This topic involves several peculiar aspects regarding how transportation is conducted in each region. One of the main reasons why trucks in the United States tend to be relatively much larger is the issue of habitability. Since truck drivers often spend extended periods behind the wheel, having a specially comfortable area for long hours is essential. In other words, they need to be able to essentially live in their trucks during the very common long routes. In this country, it's more common, or relatively easier, for the drivers themselves to be truck owners. Because of this, internal modifications are often made to cover all the basic needs during long workdays. In addition to the comforts that factory trucks offer, extra features like cabinets, folding tables, and even bathrooms are commonly added to meet the specific needs of the drivers. On the other hand, despite cab-over trucks being capable of offering these comforts, they have a design that tends to be as compact as possible. While they can also be livable and offer essential comforts for a couple of days, they don't quite reach the same level of space and adaptability as American trucks. American trucks prioritize the trucker's needs for longer stays through foldable compartments, allowing drivers to customize their space for extended routes. Likewise, it is essential to remember that while in Europe, regulations permit truckers to drive a maximum of 9 hours per day, in the United States, workdays, including driving and related activities, can legally extend up to 14 hours per day. This fact underscores the need for American truckers to have a more comfortable resting space, especially for those undertaking extensive journeys. In addition to the comfort factor for operators, another crucial aspect that plays a decisive role in adopting a specific type of truck is the type of roads it will traverse. It might sound trivial, but the kind of roads and the geographic layout of the terrain are crucial for optimal performance, as the truck spends most of its lifespan in service. At this point, the extensive infrastructure of long and wide highways that make up the interstate highway system in the United States allows for the adoption of units with significantly longer wheelbases. This characteristic provides greater stability when driving at high speeds, which, in the country's flat geography, enables operators to cover long distances in less time. In contrast, in Europe, road transport often navigates through narrow roads and areas with high urban density. In these places, maneuverability and visibility play a crucial role, making a shorter wheelbase and a cab over the engine are the preferred combination for European drivers, while a long nose truck would face many visibility issues and blind spots, becoming a nightmare in heavy traffic situations. Interestingly, in the past, things in Europe and the United States were not as different as they are now. Several decades ago, transport regulations were highly strict regarding maximum load lengths, making the cab over trucks the preferred and most popular solution in both regions. It wasn't until 1982 that the United States abolished this strict regulation that considered the truck as part of the total length of the load. This change allowed manufacturers to create more aerodynamic designs with a long nose. On the other hand, in Europe, this hasn't changed. While in America, length regulations allow the truck to be as long as needed and only affect the dimensions of the trailer, limiting its maximum length to 18 meters. In Europe, laws strictly dictate that the trailer added to the truck can only measure a combined 18.7 meters. However, even though some regulations within the European Union vary depending on each country, this is basically a general standard. Therefore, efforts are always made to keep the cabins as compact as possible in order to be capable of transporting larger loads. Something that can be considered the Achilles heel of cab-over designs, basically since its creation, is aerodynamics and air resistance. While this was something that played a significant role in the transition to conventional trucks in the United States, in Europe, it doesn't seem to be a necessity that needs to be addressed by sacrificing the precious cargo space. In addition to the fact that the low aerodynamic coefficient is mostly addressed by using powerful engines with controlled gas emissions, the flat cabin design offers further advantages in terms of transport logistics in Europe. In those countries, it's quite common that at a certain stage of transport, ferries are required, and the trucks themselves are transported by sea. This is where the compact design benefits the optimization of space and cargo, aiding in efficient loading and making the most of available space. In the United States, the existence of interstate highway systems is once again taking center stage. Taking advantage of the country's super-flat surfaces, as well as its wide and lengthy roads, heavy-duty transport trucks can reach higher speeds. That's why more aerodynamic designs and longer wheelbases represent a significant advantage in preventing incidents, considering that road trips here are extremely lengthy. At the end of the day, both types of trucks are admirable and possess designs that make them unique in their own way. While European manufacturers focus their efforts on modernizing and creating increasingly stylized aspects, equipping cutting-edge technologies, in America, the cultural factor and appreciation for the classic appearance of old heavy-duty machines prevail among truckers' preferences. In general terms, the differences in heavy land transport between the United States and Europe are primarily due to factors such as cargo regulations, types of roads or transit areas, and permitted driving time. However, it's impossible to establish a fair comparison between the two, let alone say that one is a better solution than the other, as each is essentially made to adapt to the geographical, infrastructural, and regulatory conditions of its environment. This adaptability is very well reflected in the transport industry of Australia, where a combination of both solutions can be easily observed. Just as in their respective regions, in Australia, it's extremely common to see long-nosed trucks for long road trips along the coasts, while heavy transports in cities or urban environments are handled by cab-over trucks, both in European style and classic American designs, although some use them interchangeably. Before you go, we'd like to recommend our channel, Gear Unlimited. You'll find excellent content on various topics that we're sure you'll enjoy. Thank you for joining our community. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe, like, and turn on the notification bell. Until next time.